Well, I mean, hey, it's not what we particularly wanted or expected, but I mean, hey, I will take it. um, Fun game overall. Quinn Ewers looked great today. The Dolphins were able to run the ball. They ran the ball 30 times. Mike McDaniel called a solid game today. And the defense got 3 turnovers on Baker Mayfield. And that's a recipe for winning games. And I know you're at the end of the season and you have nothing to play for. And if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, you want the best draft pick possible. And I'm there with you. But I'll take it. A win is a win at the end of the day. And I'm going to enjoy it because these last 2 weeks have been absolutely brutal football to watch against the Pittsburgh Steelers when you really needed it with the season on the line, and then last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, just a complete dumpster fire in the third quarter. I was very nervous going into the third quarter this week. They were up double digits going into the second half. Wasn't too bad that third quarter. Tampa Bay did march down. I was very nervous they were going to get into the end zone, but Baker Mayfield botched a snap, and he threw for 300. He threw for well over 300 yards today, but man, he did not have a good game at all. Baker Mayfield did not have a good game at all today against the Miami Dolphins, and Week 17, your Dolphins get the dub over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-17. And that is before their season finale next week against the New England Patriots, who won today 42-10 over the New York Jets, making them look like a high school football team out there. So, yeah, the Dolphins season finale is next week against the Patriots, and then it's on to the offseason, which is much needed, very much needed for this team. Even with today's game, despite this win, this does not mean Mike McDaniel should keep his job as head coach. This game does not mean that we need to retain Mike McDaniel because the players fought hard and the players came together, or whatever type of bullshit report's going to come out after this game about Mike McDaniel being the coach of next year. It can't happen if the organization is serious, if Stephen Ross is serious. Even after this win, we're firing Mike McDaniel. Look what happened. I don't think they're going to beat the Patriots next week. I'm just saying, the Patriots are going to be playing for the number 1 seed, and probably the division if the Bills beat the Eagles today. At the time of recording, it just kicked off, but the Patriots are going to be playing for a lot next week, so I expect us to go to New England and get our ass kicked next week. And then Stephen Ross has to make that big decision to fire Mike McDaniel, because going into this game, I mean, yes, it's a nice win, but going into this game, Tampa Bay was as cold could be. And they go down there immediately and they score a touchdown, and I'm like, okay. It's going to be that type of day for the defense. But the defense actually buckled down, and they played outstanding today. So shout out to Anthony Weaver's defense. That is not a bad offense. It's not like the other 3 games where they played Washington, the Saints, and the Jets, where they were just playing really bad competition. They were playing good because they were playing bad competition. The The defense played actually really well today. And yeah, they haven't been good all season, but they've played well. They've had good games, 3 games overall this year, which was the Atlanta Falcons game, the Bills game, and then this game today against the Buccaneers. So, you're 7-9 now. I don't know where you're going to be. I don't know where the Dolphins are as far as draft order is concerned. But I guess we could take a look at that once we get through the play-by-play of this game. But Quinn Ewers looked awesome. I still don't think he's the answer for the Dolphins. I think they. I don't think these 3 games define that Quinn Ewers is the future of the Miami Dolphins. But again, like I said last week, going into last week, these 3 weeks Quinn Ewers could be competing for being the backup with the Miami Dolphins. He could be competing to be the backup, or just a competition in training camp to be the starter going into next season. You shouldn't just hand him over the keys. And I just don't think he is your solution to being the franchise quarterback. Obviously, I don't know what this team is going to do with Tua Tagovailoa. I felt like they barely showed him on the broadcast today. They showed him one time. I remember standing on the sideline at like third down or whatever, and they got a shot of him with the field and him standing on the sideline. I remember another clip with him standing with Darrell Bevel. I think that's the only times they showed him on the broadcast. And I really don't remember the broadcast talking about him too much. So, I mean, he was barely brought up today. This broadcast was mostly bringing up the Buccaneers and the Panthers and all that dilemma. The Panthers lost today. The Buccaneers lost today. So, because the Panthers lost, the Buccaneers are still in contention for the NFC South. So, next week is Panthers Bucks. The Panthers are 8-8. The Buccaneers are 7-9, and the winner of that wins the NFC South. And then also today, or last night, I should say, the Baltimore Ravens smacked the Green Bay Packers, and then the Browns beat the Steelers 13-6. So next week, we're getting Panthers Bucks for the NFC South, and we're getting Ravens Steelers for the AFC North. So that's basically what's happened around the league today. I got smoked. I got smoked in my championship in fantasy football, 11-3, and I got absolutely smacked in the championship. But hey, I'm still coming out of it with $300. So, I mean, it's not too bad, but I don't know. It's just a bad feeling getting smacked in the fantasy championship. But, I mean, yeah, man, it was a fun day of football. It's nice seeing your team win, even when the season's practically over. Going into this felt like a preseason game. Okay, going into this game, it felt like I was about to watch a preseason game. You got the preseason kids. They called up a bunch of guys that I remember from the preseason roster. Theo Weiss again, who showed out in the first quarter. And Aaron Brewer didn't play today with the neck injury. Andrew Meyer was your starting center. I wouldn't be shocked if Aaron Brewer doesn't play again next week. There's practically no point in playing him. And, you saw a lot of young guys today. You saw Zeke Biggers make a block on the field goal. You saw Kenneth Grant in there a couple times. Chop Robinson got hurt with a concussion. Jordan Brooks got hurt with a hamstring. I'm not really risking those guys next week against the New England Patriots. So I don't know if we're going to see guys like Jordan Brooks or whatnot. Waddle was banged up in this game. But I think you're going to see more young guys today. Or you're going to see more young guys next week against the New England Patriots. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. And before we do that, we're going to get into some stats. We'll start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, 33 of 44, 346 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And the second one was a Tua Tagovailoa interception. That was just a really bad throw by Baker Mayfield. Really bad. Bucky Irving had 9 carries for 19 yards. The Buccaneers ran the ball 16 times for 53 yards. So no success on the running game at all. Jalen McMillan had 7 catches for 114 yards. Chris Godwin had 7 catches for 108 yards and a touchdown. Cade Otton had 4 catches for 33 yards. Mike Evans had 3 catches for 31 yards and a touchdown. And Emeka Egbuka had 3 catches for 20 yards. We get over to the Dolphins side of things. Quinn Ewers, 14 of 22, 172 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Dolphins, Devon Achane, 18 carries, 83 yards. Jalen Wright broke off a 32-yard run today, 5 carries, 56 yards, and the Dolphins in total ran the ball 30 times for 145 yards. So, really good day for the running game and the success the running game had today. Theo Weiss Jr. was your leading receiver today. 1 catch, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Greg Dulcich was right behind him. 5 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Devon Achane, 3 catches for 29 yards. And Julian Hill had 1 catch for 16 yards. Darren Waller, a complete non-factor in this game. Jalen Waddle was banged up, so he was going in and out, so he really wasn't a factor in this game either. And for the defense, we got interceptions by Jason Marshall Jr., Ashton Davis, and Bradley Chubb forced a fumble in the fourth quarter, which was recovered by Quentin Bell. Jack Jones led the team in tackles today with 10. And Tyrell Dotson got a sack. Bradley Chubb got 2 sacks. So that puts him at 8.5 sacks on the season. Bradley Chubb is having a really good year. Chubb with 2 sacks. Is that it? That's it. So 3 sacks on the day, a forced fumble, 2 interceptions. So it was a good day for the Miami Dolphins defense. So, all right, let's get into it, man. The Dolphins, they got the ball first. And second play of the game, you get a screen pass to Malik Washington for 28 yards. And it gets called back because of a holding call. So right then and there, the drive stalls out. So you go 3 and out. The Buccaneers get the ball at their own 32-yard line. They go 14 plays, 68 yards, and 7.5 minutes. 2nd and 2, Bucky Irving for 7 yards. 2nd and 10, Jalen McMillan for 8. And then it is 4th and 1, and Sean Tucker gets a 2-yard run for a first down for Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield to Bucky Irving for 5 yards. There we go. Then Bucky Irving loses 2 yards. And then on 3rd and 7, Baker Mayfield to Jalen McMillan for 18 yards. So he was going to McMillan a lot. 2nd and 13 again. McMillan for 13. Sean Tucker for 6 yards. And then 3rd and 4. Chris Godwin running circles around Tyrell Dotson. And it's an easy touchdown for Tampa Bay. They go up 7-0. Dolphins get the ball back immediately, though. At their own 35-yard line, Jalen Waddle on an end around for 7 yards. Incomplete to Malik Washington. And on 3rd and 8, after a false start, Ewers Jr. just runs a go route, and the Buccaneers leave him wide open. Quinn Ewers finds him. Ewers is all by himself, and it's an easy touchdown. An easy touchdown for Quinn Ewers, just playing he's playing catch with pitch and catch with his one of his favorite targets, Ewers Jr. just left wide open all by himself. So it's 7-7. The Buccaneers would get the ball back. 3rd and 6 on their own 21-yard line. Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans for 16 yards. Jack Jones on the coverage. And then he got called for illegal contact. This was not a good day for Jack Jones. And the people saying that the Dolphins should bring back Jack Jones. It was not a good day for him at all. And then Tampa Bay would go 3 and out. 2nd and 7. Cade Otton for 6 yards. And then 3rd and 1. They call a screen out right to Bucky Irving, which goes nowhere. And they try to make the Dolphins jump. If I'm Tampa Bay, man, your season's on the line, I would have went for it there. I absolutely would have went for it there instead of taking the delay of game and punting the ball away. I would have went for it. Because the Dolphins, they had another good possession on offense. 10 plays, 76 yards in 5.5 minutes. Devon Achane for 7 yards. Devon Achane for 11 yards. Jalen Wright for 9 yards. Quinn Ewers would go deep to Greg Dulcich for 23 yards. So it's a really good drive for the Dolphins running game, and then some RPO. This is the big run. Jalen Wright for 32 yards down to the right side. I thought he was gone. I thought Jalen Wright was going to take that to the house. He did not. And he got tackled at the 5-yard line. And then Quinn Ewers threw a pass to himself because he threw it. The ball got batted in the air. Quinn Ewers just caught it. It was potential interception for the Dolphins, or for the Bucs. So Quinn Ewers, smart awareness there. Then back to Dulcich for 7 yards. And then this was the one play call that aggravated me during this game by Mike McDaniel. 3rd and goal at their 5-yard line. You throw a tight end screen to Greg Dulcich, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he gets blown up immediately by Hassan Reddick. What on God's green earth makes you think that a play on 3rd and goal, sideways pass, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, is going to work? It absolutely did not work. It blew up in their face, and they had to kick the field goal. So now they go up 10-7. But defense making magic here. 2nd and 11. Baker Mayfield went deep to McMillan, deflected by Jason Marshall Jr., and Jason Marshall Jr. came down with the interception. So Again, young guys getting their chances now that the season's over. No Minka Fitzpatrick. Jason Marshall's going to get a chance. And he did not look good last week against the Bengals. He bounced back this week. He looked very good against the Buccaneers this week. And he got himself an interception. What was his stats on the day? He had 5 tackles. And he had an interception. So it was a very good day for Jason Marshall Jr. Young guy who's trying to make a name for himself on the defense. You love to see it. The Dolphins, they go 9 plays, 76 yards in 4 minutes. Devon Achane racks up 4 yards. He then racks up 15 yards on 2nd and 6. Quinn Ewers back to Greg Dulcich for 13 yards. Jalen Wright for 7. Devon Achane for 7. Quinn Ewers screen pass out left to Devon Achane for 20. It's looking really nice. It's looking really nice. You got a holding call on Andrew Meyer, so it's 2nd and goal at the 20. Doesn't matter, baby. Does not matter. Achane for 9 yards. And then 3rd and 11, or 3rd and goal. Quinn Ewers to Greg Dulcich. Man, what a half he had. You didn't go back to him in the second half, but he absolutely had possibly his best game since being a part of the Dolphins. And, man, 11-yard touchdown pass to Quinn Ewers. Nice throw. Nice route by Dulcich. And, man, I think that they should bring back Greg Dulcich to be a part of the tight end room next year. He has been a positive in this offense. He is great in the passing game. He's a safety blanket for the quarterback, whoever's in there. And he has been just nothing but positivity for this Dolphins offense throughout the second half of the season. So it's 17-7. The Dolphins got the ball back. Tampa Bay goes 7 plays, 33 yards. 2nd and 14. Deep to Jalen McMillan for 33 yards with Jack Jones on the coverage. You get a holding call on Cade Otton. And 3rd and 13. Jack Jones makes up for it. Makes a tackle to Jalen McMillan before he can get to the first down marker. Tampa Bay kicks a 55-yard field goal. And Zeke Biggers, the rookie out of Georgia Tech, gets the block. And instead of giving up some points, instead of being up 17-10, Dolphins keep it at 17-7, which is huge. Because if you look at the final score is 20-17 Dolphins. So, that blocked field goal was big. That's a big play by Zeke Biggers right there. So, now we go into the second half. Both teams trade 3 and outs. Tampa Bay goes 3 and out first. Ewers takes a sack on 2nd and 15. And you do nothing on 3rd and long. Tampa Bay then takes up a lot of time here. And this drive, and going into the 3rd quarter, I'm like, the Dolphins, it's a disaster every week in this 3rd quarter. The last 2 weeks against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, they got outscored 35-0 in the 3rd quarter. So I'm just waiting for this disaster to happen. I'm like, in this drive, I'm like, yep, this is it. This is it. But let's talk about it. First play, Baker Mayfield to Rachaad White for 6 yards. And then 3rd and 1, Baker collapsed in the pocket, but he's able to escape outside and pick up the first down for 2 yards. Pass rush couldn't get there. Rashad White for 7 yards. Then Baker would go to Tej Johnson for 17 yards. And then this was the play that gosh. I can't remember if this was the play where Quentin Bell was on his back or not. But Baker avoids the pressure and he's able to pick up 11 yards on 3rd and 10. He needed 10, he got 11. Bucky Irvin would then get a 12-yard run, and then he would get stopped by Jack Jones. And 3rd and 8, Baker Mayfield would bobble his own snap, get sacked by Tyrell Dotson, and the Dolphins end up holding the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a field goal. It's now 17-10 Dolphins. Dolphins get the ball back. And what I love about this is, first of all, Malik Washington gets a great return. Out to the Tampa Bay 45-yard line. First play got blown up. Loss of 5. Okay, so already it's 2nd and 15. I love that Mike McDaniel did not go away from the run on this drive. Because in the past, it's 2nd and 15, and you're expecting pass. Because with history, McDaniel passes in this situation. Well, you got to run to the left side by Devon Achane, and on 2nd and 15, he picks up the first down. That's what you get for sticking to the running game. That's what you get. Achane for 7 yards. Achane for 5 yards on 2nd and short. Incomplete to Dulcich. A false start by Julian Hill. And then an 8-yard run on 2nd and 15 by Jalen Wright. And then we are in the 4th quarter now. Ewers to Malik Washington for 4 yards. Riley Patterson kicks the 31-yard field goal. And your Dolphins are up 20-10, man. So we exchanged 3 and outs. The Bucks, they go 3 and out on the next drive. The Dolphins, they're pinned at their own 4-yard line. They get a false start on Patrick Paul. So they're already backed up more. It's 2nd and 12, incomplete to Darren Waller. And 3rd and 12, instead of just handing it up the middle and punting it in your own 5-yard line or something like that. And by the way, if Tua was the quarterback, that's exactly what they would have done. Mike McDaniel would have played it safe. He would have handed the ball up the middle, and he would have made Jake Bailey punt in the back of the end zone. That's exactly what would have happened. But you got a more mobile, I guess you could say, quarterback with ability. Quinn Ewers rolls out left. Boom. Julian Hill for 16 yards. First down. From the Dolphins 2 to our own 18-yard line. First down, Dolphins. Gotta fucking love it. Quinn Ewers, the moment is not too big for him. Cool, calm, and as collective as he could be. 3rd and 9. Ewers to Cedric Wilson for 8. And Dolphins fans started booing because they were punting, which is ridiculous. I would have punted in that situation too. Tampa Bay got the ball back. Emeka Egbuka for 7 yards. 3rd and 3. You get a short pass to Jalen McMillan. He takes it 28 yards down to the Miami 43. Baker to Mike Evans for 11 yards. And then Baker to the end zone to Emeka Egbuka, who's double covered. and Ashton Davis is able to get the interception. Great play by Davis, and that was an awful throw by Baker Mayfield. That's an awful throw and an awful read, and it reminded me a lot of Tua Tagovailoa from this season because, man, has he had a lot of those interceptions. But it was just a horrible throw and a bad read overall. So the Dolphins, they get the ball back with 6:56, and they go 3 and out. Tampa Bay gets the ball back on their own 32-yard line. Baker to Chris Godwin for 10 yards. Baker to Chris Godwin for 7 yards. And then 4th and 1, Baker would go back to Chris Godwin for 11 yards, which was a good block by Mike Evans. Baker to McMillan for 7 yards. And then 2nd and 3, as Baker is about to make the throw, Bradley Chubb comes in, forces the fumble. Quentin Bell recovers the ball, and basically that's game right there, man. That is game. Tampa Bay's trying to go down there and score, and they're trying to score fast. And the Dolphins, they get their 3rd turnover of the day, and it was an awesome feeling. It was a good feeling to see the defense actually have a good game against a decent opponent. So, the Dolphins, they get the ball back. They punt in 6 plays. Quinn Ewers, 3rd and 3, picks up a first down with his legs. When's the last time you've seen Tua pick up a first down with his legs? You never fucking see that. So, that was awesome to see. And then you go 3 and out, basically. I'm in the other room watching the end of the Steelers game. Tampa Bay goes down in 3 plays and scores a touchdown. 59 yards to Chris Godwin, 13 yards to Cade Otton, pass interference on Rasul Douglas, and then Mike Evans for 4 yards. And then they got Devon Achane in there for the onside kick. He recovers the onside kick, and that's your ball game. That's your ball game right there. The Miami Dolphins finish off their last home game at Hard Rock Stadium for this season. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-17. And now, like I said, you're going into this final game of the season. You're going to Gillette Stadium. Again, it's going to be another player evaluation game. Quinn Ewers is going to get another start. I doubt Aaron Brewer plays next week. I doubt Minkah Fitzpatrick plays next week. You're going to see a lot of Andrew Meyer. You're going to see a lot of Jason Marshall again, Trader, those guys. Jack, and then the guys that are like trying to play for contracts too. I think you're going to see a lot of them next week. You're going to see a lot of Greg Dulcich, Jack Jones, Douglas, a lot of guys that are going to be trying to play for contracts and get not a big payday, but a slight payday from them what they were getting. So, again, does this make me feel like Mike McDaniel's earned his job back? Fuck no. I still think he's got to get fired at the end of the season. It's the right thing to do. I don't know how much longer we could take up with this guy. The amount of third quarter collapses we've had this season. The inability to stick with the running game when it's working in particular games. And just a lot of bad games. And just because we won today it doesn't justify that Mike should be keeping his job. We need a clean slate, okay? We need a clean slate. Chris Greer got fired. Tua Tagovailoa got benched. You will not see him snap the football again in a Miami Dolphins uniform. He played his last game as a Miami Dolphin in Pittsburgh. And then the only thing that would finish that is firing Mike McDaniel. And I guess we're going to have to wait a week to see what Stephen Ross does with Mike McDaniel. So, but that's all I got, man. And it was good to see them win today. Good game by the Dolphins. Actually, you know what? Before we go, let's go on Tankathon. Let's go on Tankathon and see where the Dolphins are picking. So with this win, none of the games happening matter outside of maybe the Atlanta Falcons beating the Rams tomorrow night, but that is not going to happen. So, right now, after this win, the Dolphins are picking 12th. I believe after today, they were picking 10th, I believe. So it's not that big of a drop-off. And the highest they can pick is 8th. And I don't know what's going to happen next week. There's a lot of things that need to happen. So I'll figure it out more in the week, and we'll do some content later on this week and see what needs to happen as far as draft positioning for the Dolphins. But yeah, man, going into this final game next week against the Patriots, the Dolphins are going to be picking 12th in the NFL draft. Now we can wrap it up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, comment down below. We will have a new podcast Tuesday. We'll come out with a new podcast. And then, we're going to be celebrating the new year. So New Year's Eve on Wednesday, New Year's Day, Thursday, lots of college football on Thursday. And then we get into the weekend, Dolphins season finale, and then we're going to get into the offseason. Thank goodness. All right. I'm out of here. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Colin_Joseph, all that fun stuff. I'll see you Tuesday. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy and go Dolphins.